Again, welcome to Java Programming Language. This is CS 102 class at Rutgers University. In this lectures, we're going to cover Java data types and variables, which is Unit 2, Lecture Part 1, that covers our course textbook, Java Software Solutions, Chapter 2. So let's express some other fundamental programming concepts. In this unit, we are going to learn about different Java data types, such as character strings, and then the primitive data types. Also, we're going to learn how to declare and use variables. So we start with the character strings. Here we say that a string literal is represented by putting double quotes around the text. So in Java programming language, if we have any text, it can be symbol, it can be digits, etc. As far as we put it in a double quotation, the data type is a string. So an example here, this is a string literal, it's in double quotation. 1, 2, 3 main street is in double quotation. X is in double quotation. So S is a string. So this again, 3 different types of strings. And so a string literal is represented by putting double quotes around the text. Now, every character string is an object in Java, which is defined by a string class. So every string literal represents a string object, and we may go details on this. So here, let's go through the println method. So in our previous lectures in chapter 1, we saw the linking program. In linking program, we invoke the println method to print a character strings. So we saw that in our program, we have system.out.println. This is again an expression to print something on our screen, a console application. Now we can see here, we say whatever you are, be a good one. It's in double quotation. So this means the information here is a string. So here the system.out object will represent the destination, and the destination here is the object, the monitor screen. Then the println is the method name. Then whatever you are, be a good one, will be our parameters, which again is a string. And I think we went through this program in chapter 1, the linking program. So system.out object represents a destination, and the destination here will be the monitor screen. And then the println is the method to print. So a print method in a system.out object, it provides another service as well, which is the print method, which is also similar to println. Now, the difference between the two is that in println, when the items are printed or the parameters is printed, the cursor will move to a new line. But with print, the cursor will stay at the same line. So here we say the print method is similar to the println method, except that it does not advance to the next line. So println, after it prints the content, the cursor will advance to the next line. With print, it doesn't, it stays in the same line. Therefore, anything printed after print statement will appear on the same line. So let's see an example, a program called countdown.java. So here we have a countdown.java, and this program is going to demonstrate the difference between print and a println. So we have our main class, as we said earlier, again, a Java programming. The basic program you write in Java must have a main class, and the name of the main class is the same as the name of the file. So here we can see the main class name is countdown. The file name also is countdown.java. In Java program, the file extension is always .java. So here we have public class countdown. We have a comment here. We are going to print 2 lines of output representing a rocket countdown. Now, we know we talk about comment means the compiler will ignore, or the interpreter will ignore, will not execute any of this expression comments. Now, our main method, which is public static void main, as we said, this is a Java application program. Execution always takes place in the main method. So every Java program, application standalone program must have a main method because that's where the execution will take place. So we have our first system.out.print. We say 3. We put it in a double quotation, which is a string, semicolon to end it. We have a second print 2, another print 1, another print 0. But here we can see that everything is print for print, which means 3, 2, 1, 0 will be print on one line. Then next we have system.out.print and it lifts off. Lift off also will be print on the same line, but since it's println, the cursor will move to a new line. So Houston, we have a program will be print on a new line. So let's see the output. As we can see here, we have system.out.print 3. So we print our 3 with 3 dots. Then system.out.print 2. It's the same line 2. System.out.print 1. It's on the same line. 0 to us is the same line. Then the cursor is still on the same line. Then we print lift off. But when we print lift off, we are using println. So the cursor will move to the next line, which means Houston, we have a program will be print on the next line. So again, that's the difference between print and println. Now in a string concatenation means joining 2 strings together. In Java, we can use the plus operator to join 2 strings together. So a very simple example, if we have a value on the left side of the plus sign and on the right side of the plus sign, then it's going to add the 2 numbers. It's going to perform addition operation. But if one of the items is a string or both of them are string, then it's going to join it. So example here, we have a peanut butter, it's in double quotation, so it's a string. Plus and jelly is in double quotation, so it's a string. So this plus will act as a concatenate to join the 2 strings together. So our output will be peanut, butter, and jelly together. Here we also said it can also be used to append a number to a string. So if I have a number 9 and a string, as we said earlier, if the 2 items between the plus sign is a value, then it's going to do addition. If one of them is a string, then it will join. If both of them are strings, also it is going to join. So let's see an example, facts.java. So in this program, again, our main class is facts. So the file name is facts.java. We have our main method. Here we say string can be joined into one long string. So let's see the system.out.println. We have a string, we open a double quotes. So we present the following facts for your, we end it plus. Again, so here we can see that on the left and the right side between the plus, both are strings. So it's going to join the 2 strings together. Then next we have letters in the Y alphabet, 12. The system.out.dialog code for plus. So here now we have a string plus a value, so it's going to join also. In the next system.out.println, we have a string plus a value, so it's going to join. Speed of ketchup is a string, double quotation. We have 40, then we have a string again. So it's going to join the 2. So let's see the output. First, we have the system.out will present the following facts for you. So you can see that the 2 are joined together. Then letters in the Y alphabet 12 is joined together. And we have a string letters in the Y alphabet, double quotation plus, then 12. So we can see C7 to also the same thing join and the rest. So let's go back to the code, what we are trying to say here. So here we can see we have year in which Leonardo da Vinci invented plus the parachute. So it's a string, so we are joining it. And we can join it plus 15, 15, 15 is a value. But as we said, if we have one side a string and the other is a value, it's going to join. Unless both sides are values, then it's going to perform arithmetic operation. So that's our output. Now here we say the plus operator is also used for arithmetic addition. As we said, if the two items on the left and right between the addition is a value, then it's going to perform arithmetic operation. So here we say the function that it performs depends on the type of information on which it operates. So if both operands, that's if both items on the left and right side of the plus sign are strings, or if one is a string and one is a number, it performs string concatenation. Now, if both operands are numeric, they are values, they need to add them. So that again, the plus operator is evaluated left to right, but parentheses can be used to force the order. And we may go details on arithmetic operation in Java in our next lectures. So let's see this example here. Our main class again is addition. So the file name is addition.java. Then we have our main method. Here we say system.out.println. Again, we have a double quote, 24 and 45 concatenated, double quote again. So this means we have a string. So as we have a string here, the right side is a value. So which means we are going to join with what we have here. Now, here we can see that we have a value and a value, so we are going to add them. So let's see the answer. Now, what we said previously, addition operations start from left to right. But if you have a parenthesis, it will change because we know arithmetic operation parentheses perform first. So in our system.out second question, we have parentheses here. So 24 plus 45 will give us 69. So our output will be 24 and 45 added 69 because we perform arithmetic operation first parentheses. But here we are performing the operation from left to right. So we are going to join 24. 24 become a string part of this, then we join it to 45 also. So let's see the output. We can see here 24 and 25 concatenated. We have 2, 4, 4, 5. Why? Because the left side, 24 and 45 concatenated, is a string. And the string, the addition operation or the plus operator normally start from left. So it's going to join the test with 24, then it will join with 45. But if there's a parenthesis, parentheses perform first. So here we are going to have 24 and 45 first before we join it to the string. So that's why we have 69. Now let's check out this. What output is produced by the following? We have system.out.println. X is a string plus 25. So our output here will be X and 25. The second, we have Y, which is a string plus, but here we have a parenthesis. So we are going to add 15 plus 50 first, which will give us 65. So we get Y 65. Then Z, we are going to get 350. So that will be 3,000 or 30,050. Because there was no parenthesis, we are going to join Z with 300, and later we join the 300 with the 50. So let's look the output. So first, X is 25, Y is 65. Why? Because we have a parenthesis, so we have to do the addition first. 15 plus 50 is 65. When there's no parenthesis, then the operators will perform from left to right. So in case of Z, we join to 300, then we join to 50. So we should know the difference between when we have a parenthesis and when we don't have no parenthesis. Parenthesis execution takes place first. So this is plus. So there's a value on the left side, there's a value on the right side. Both operands are values. Now in Java also, we have something called the escape sequences. So for example, if I want to print a backslash or double quotation, Java understands what is a double quotation. Double quotation means we are using it as a string. So now, for example, I want to print, I said hello, but hello will be on double quotation to you. If we do it in this form, Java will get confused. You think we have a string from as said, which double quotation start, double quotations end. Then LO is by itself. So this will give us error. So what we need to do is use the forward slash. So the solution is the forward slash here. So this is called the escape sequence. If we say system.out.println as said, and Java saw the forward slash, it means the double quotation here is to be printed. So LO will be in double quotation to you. So this is one string together. The beginning double quotes and the ending double quote. The middle double quote is to print. So here we say, what if we wanted to print a quote character? The following line will confuse the compiler because it will interpret the second quote as the end of the string, as we said. So this will give us a bad. Now, an escape sequence is a series of characters that represent a special character. So an escape sequence begins always with a backslash character. So here we say system.out.println as said, I want to print double quotations, so I have a backslash. The same thing if I want to print a backslash, I will use two backslash. So Java knows that I want to print a backslash. So these are the escape sequence. We have the backslash B, which is backspace. Backslash T means the tab. Backslash N means a new line. Backslash R means carriage return. Now backslash double quote means I want to print a double quote. And also same thing with a single quote. And if I want to print a backslash, I'll have two backslashes. So let's see an example for roses.java program. So again, our main class name is roses. We have our main method. And here we want to use the escape sequence to demonstrate the use of escape sequences. So we have system.out.println. We say roses are red, comma. Here I have a backslash n, which means I want to move to the next line. This backslash n will take me to the next line. Then backslash t will give me a tab. Then valence are blue. Then backslash n again, I move to the next line. And then I'll say sugar is sweet. Then backslash n, I move to the next line. Backslash t, a tab. But I want to print a double quotation. So I have a backslash and quotation open and close with backslash, which means commitment issue will be on double quotation. Then I move to the new line and also I tap it again. So I did rather just be friends, move back to new line, tap again, then at this point in our relationship. So let's see how the output look and compare to the code. So we can see first we have roses are red. So that's correct. Roses are red, but we have a backslash n. So we move to the next line. But we have backslash t, so we tap. That's why valence start from this, we tap it. After that, we have backslash n, so we move to the next line. There's no tab, so we start from the beginning. Sugar is sweet. Sugar is sweet, it's only backslash n, there's no tab. Next, we have move to a new line, tap it, but I have a commitment issue. So we can see that again, it's tap. Then we have backslash n and tap again, so I did rather just be friends. After that, also we have another backslash and tap. So we start at this point in our relationship. So let's see, write a single println statement that produces the following output. Here we want to print a double quotation. Then we enter this one. So let's see, system.out.println, we start with a double quotation. So we have backslash double quotation. Thank you for all coming to my home. Everything is on one line. Thank you for all for coming to my home. Then tonight is a backslash. And then tonight, which is new line. Then we print quote, double quote. So we have backslash and double quote. It said mysteriously, then we write, so there's no anything. Yes. So again, we start with a double quote. So we have a backslash and double quote. Thank you for coming to my home. After that, we move to a new line. So we have backslash and tonight. Then after tonight, we have a double quote. So backslash double quote. They said mysteriously. So let's move next to variables and assignments. So a variable is a name for a location in memory that holds a value. So in Java program or in any programming language, when I have a value and I want to store the value, I will need to have a memory location. So in this case, I'm going to declare variable. There are some languages such as Python. I don't have to declare the variable type, but Java, always we have to specify the variable type. So for example, here we declare variable name total, the data type is int. Always we start with the data type and then the variable name. Now the variable name have to follow the rules of naming any Java identifiers. When I mention Java identifiers, I mean Java methods and Java classes, etc. They all follow the same naming convention. So the name must be any characters. It can be uppercase character or lowercase. Also any digits. We can use only two symbols, which is underscore and a $sign. But the name cannot start with a digit, but it can start with any underscore and characters, but it cannot start with a digit. So this is correct. We have int total. Then we have, now if I'm declaring three variables and they are all the same data type, I don't need to write int count, int temp, int result. We can just write all the variables in one line. So int count, comma, space, temp, comma, space, result. So here we say multiple variables can be created in one declaration. So how do we declare variable? What's the reason why we declare variable? Because we want to store data. So a variable is a memory location. Also, we can declare variable and initialize it. So a variable can be given an initial value in the declaration. Here we declare variable name sum. The data type is int, which is a whole number, integer. And we initialize it to 0. We declare another variable name base. We initialize it to 32. The data type also is int, integer. Then mass equal to 149. This means both base and mass variables, their data type is the same. Let's see example at piano keys.java. So here, again, our main class is piano keys. So the file name is piano keys.java. And this program will demonstrate the declaration, initialization, and also the use of an integer variable. So when we come to the main method, we declare variable name keys. The data type is int, which means it's a whole number. And we initialize it to 88. Now, if we want to print the content of the variable, make sure we don't put it in double quotation. So here we say piano as plus keys plus. The keys here is the content of the variable is going to print. Here also we have keys, but the keys here is in double quotation. So when it's in double quotation means we are going to print what we have. It's a string. But when it's not in double quotation, also it's not in a single quotation, then we are going to print the content of it. So for example, if we don't have the variable keys, we are going to get an error here. So the keys is a variable content. So the output of this program will be a piano has 88 keys. Again, the second case is in double quotation, so it's a string. So it will print keys. So let's see the output. A piano has 88 keys. Assignment operator is very important. In programming language, most of the time, equality means we have two assignment operator. We will discuss that when we go to selection statement. So this equal sign, only one equal sign means assignment operator. Assignment operator means I'm assigning a value 55 to a variable named total. I'm not saying that total equal to 55. I'm saying that assign 55 to total. If I want to check if total equal to 55, then I'm going to write equal twice. So again, assignment statement changes the value of a variable. Assignment operator is the equal sign. It's not equality. So the value that was in the total is overwritten. So here we may have a value in the total already, a whole value, let's say 500. Now when I assign 55 to total, that 500 will be overwritten, and now the new value will be 55. That's why we call it assignment operator, not equal operator. So you can only assign a value to a variable that is consistent with the variable declared type. So for example, the variable total, we declare it as integer. So it's a whole number. This is correct. Now, if the variable is declared as int and I'm assigning 55.3, or I'm assigning welcome to Java, that's a string, I will get an error. So here we are saying that you can only assign the value to a variable that is consistent with the variable data type. So let's see example geometry.java. So this main class against geometry, which means the file name is geometry.java. We have our main method. Here we declare variable name sides, and we assign 7 to it. So we initialize it as 7. Here is declaration with initialization. Now next we say system.out.println, which means we want to print something on our screen, the monitor. System.out is the monitor object. And here we want to print an heptagon as is in double quotation. So this is our string. Plus side. You can see the second side is a double quotation. So that is a string. But the first side is not in a double quotation. So which means we want to print the content of the variable. Here the variable content is 7. So the output here will be the heptagon has 7 sides. Next, we change the value. So beginning, we assign 7 to side. Second, we assign 10 to side. It's correct. What will happen is that we are going to overwrite it. Instead of 7 now, the new value is 10. So here we say a decagon as is in double quotation. So that's a string plus side and side. So this means the output will be a decagon as 10 sides. We change the value to 12. So we assign a new value 12. So now the side is no more 10, it's 12 now. And we print the string, a decagon has 12 sides. So let's see the output. So first one, we have 7 for the side. Second, we assign 10. And the last one, we assign 12. Next, we have something called a constant. In Java, if, for example, we have a value and we store that value in the variable, let's say I'm doing some calculation, but we have 100 salesmen, and they are all making the same commission, let's say 2% commission of their sales, total sales they make. Well, since I'm going to use that value so many times, and the same percentage for all the salespeople, I can declare that variable as constant so that I don't need to change it always. A constant variable means the value will be constant, cannot be changed. If you want to change it, you have to come to where you declare it and you change it. So normally, as we said here, a constant is an identifier that is similar to a variable, except that what? It holds the same value during its entire existence. As the name implies, it's a constant, not a variable. A compiler will issue an error if you try to change the value. You can only change the value where you declare it at. So in Java, to declare a constant variable, we start with the keyword final. Then we still have the data type, same as we declare regular variable. The data type here is int, and here the constant variable name is mean height. And we have to initialize it. The only thing we should know here about constant is that when you declare a constant variable, use the keyword final, and you make sure you initialize it to some value. Imagine we cannot declare a constant variable without initialize it. Why we have it as constant? Because there's some constant value that will be there. So always a constant variable, we have to initialize it to some value. And also here you can see the mean height is in uppercase. It doesn't matter. By convention, we just want to separate a regular variable with a constant variable. So it's up to you. You can make a regular variable as uppercase, the names, or lowercase, or the constant variable as uppercase or lowercase. There's no any syntax error. There's no any error, syntax error. So constants, again, are useful for three important reasons. So first, they give meaning to otherwise unclear literal values. Example, we have a mass load means more than the literal 250. Second, also, they can facilitate program maintenance. If a constant is used in multiple places, like the example I gave about the commission rate for salesperson, its value need only to be set in one place. So if I want to change it, if I have 100 salespeople, their sales commission is 25%, and I use it for all the 100 salespeople. Now, if I want to change that value, I don't want to go through all the, if I'm using a regular variable, I have to go through all the 100 salespersons and change in 100 places. But if I declare it as a constant variable, then I'll go to where I declare it and change it only once. So that's one of the advantage of constant variables. And last, they formally established that a value should not change, avoiding any inadvertent errors by other programmers. So we go through the last section, which is a primitive data type. And we were even discussing it already. For example, int, long, byte, short, these are primitive data type. So there are 8 primitive data type in Java. 4 of them represent integer, which means they are whole numbers. Now, if I want to use byte, short, or int, or long, depends on the size of my value. If I want to store a very large value, maybe in billions, I may use long. A normal value, maybe int. A very smaller value, I may use byte. We know byte is only 8 bits. Short will give you 2 bytes, which will give us 16. And then int is 4 bytes, 32, long is 64. So they are all byte, short, int, long, they are all whole numbers, they are all integers, the whole number, but the size are different. Same thing, we have the floating point numbers, which is decimal numbers. We have only 2 types, the float and double. Now, the difference between the two is the number of decimal places, which we call the precisions. With the float, we have somewhere around 7 decimal places or precisions. With double, we have 15 number of decimal places or precisions. Then we have a 1 character type, which is char. A char normally will be in a single quote with only 1 character or 1 symbol. Then we have the Boolean. Boolean is 2 options, either the value is true or false. So these are all our primitive data types in Java: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and Boolean. And we may use this a lot in our program. So these are the sizes. A byte is 8-bit, short is 16-bit. So we can see the numbers range: int 32, long is 64. So it's getting bigger. Float is 32-bit and double also 64 bits. Now it depends on the significant digit is the number of decimal places. So with float, I can get up to 7. With double, we can get up to 15 significant digits. A character is just 1 single digit or symbol or character. So example would be A in single quote, X, 7. Since 7 is in a single quote now, it's a character. If 7 is in double quotation, it's a string. If 7 is not in any single or double quotation, then it's a value. So that's an example here. We declare variable name top grade. The data type is char. Normally a character, we use char. And we can initialize it to a single character or any symbol, as far as it's in single quote and it's only 1 symbol. Like for example, here we use a $sign and a symbol. So we also have what we call the character set. A character set is an ordered list of characters with each character, again, corresponding to a unique number. So a char variable in Java can store any character set from a Unicode character set. A Unicode character set normally uses 16-bit per character. So it makes it possible to have 65,536 unique characters. And it's an international character set containing symbols and characters from many world languages. We also have the ascii character set, which is the older one, but is smaller than the Unicode. But it's still quite popular, it's still being used. So the ascii character set are again subset of Unicode. Unicode have all the ascii character set, including international language. So Unicode ascii doesn't have much of the international languages. So example, uppercase letters, lowercase, punctuation, digits, special symbols, all these are represented by a special ascii code or Unicode character set. The next one is Boolean. As we all know, Boolean means two ways, true or false. So in Java, a Boolean data type takes only two items, true or false, and it shouldn't be in double quotation. If it's in double quotation, then it becomes a string. And if it's in single quote, we will get an error. A single quote should have only one character. So a very good example here, we are declaring a variable name done. The data type is Boolean, and we initialize it to false. So a Boolean variable can also be used to represent any two states, either on or off. In C++ language, we normally use plus for true, 0 for false. In Java, we use the word true and false to represent. So that will be the conclusion of our lectures. Again, in these lectures, we covered the basic concept of Java in terms of Java data types, the primitive data type mostly. And also we talk about string. A string is not a primitive data type. It's an object, it has its own classes. We also discuss about how to declare variables, what is a variable, etc. So again, wish everybody the best. In our next lectures, we're going to discuss about Java arithmetic operations, how we can use all these variables, data types, and arithmetic operation. So again, thank you. If you have any question, you can send an email, or if we meet in class or online section. Bye.